Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshak if you want to call me by my in-game name. And I know a lot of you have been asking, hey Rob, why are you not doing the card reviews? You know, everybody else is doing them. You've only done like 2 of them. You only covered like 20 cards, if that. And the thing was, I got finals coming up the next 2 weeks. And I've been studying for them and doing just a lot of assignments in general, projects, presentations. So I haven't been able to, like, as they come out, be able to review them. But I did gather some time and all of the cards have been announced. So I'm going to do a cumulative card review and I'm going to talk about them, all of them, in kind of one, like, not void. There's a word in one packed, jammed supply crate type thing. So with that, vacuum. That was the card. That was the card. I was like, that was the phrase I was looking for, was the vacuum in one vacuum. So we have on Hearthstone site, we've got all of the classes and all of the cards that are being released for each class. So we'll kind of go through them and talk about them and give you my insight on what they are. Also, with having all of the, we're streaming this live, so there will be people subbing. Yo, Pip Boy, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate it. 10 months in a row. What's up? Glad to have you. So we'll be talking about, obviously, the ones that we didn't get to, but when we get to a card that we've already covered, I'm not going to cover it as much as, you know, obviously, because we've already done it in previous card reviews. Well, the 2 that we did. All right, so Druid off the bat, pounce. 0 mana, give your hero +2 attack this turn. Anything that's 0 mana is, like, very, I don't want to keep saying interesting, but it's a card that needs to be looked at. Because it's in a different, you have to look at it as a different light than almost any other card, because the fact that it does cost 0 mana. So whether or not you're comboing it with like cards like Auctioneer, or using it in combination with cards that cost 10 mana, or, you know, accumulative have 10 mana, plus you're able to stack this on top for like the extra whatever damage, is very, very good. So with this being 0 mana, originally you look at like Claw and it costs 1 mana. It says give your hero +2 attack, and then it also gives your hero, I believe, 2 armor. So you basically pay 1 mana for 2 armor, but this is 0 mana for just 2 attack. So with this being free, and then the new hero that came out, this guy, we could see some, you know, attack based druid type things. They've been pushing beast druid along with some sort of like buffing their attack, and then using the attack of the druid as an actual, like, I think Savage is the card, and I would pull it up, but again, I don't have time to do the cool editing stuff as normal. I wish I could do all the editing that I want to do, but unfortunately this is finals week for me, and these finals are not easy. I got like two more semesters left in my master's program, and then we will have lots of time. So Pounce, pretty good card, if, you know, this guy gets good. But we'll see. I don't think we should count Pounce out. I know it looks not. I know you wouldn't pounce at the chance to use it, but it's not as bad as it looks. Looking at Tree Speaker, 5 mana 4/4 Battlecry, transform your treants into 5/5 ancients. So as we know, the little treant guys, it's basically their tokens, and they're 2/2s, and you know there's, I believe, a 3 mana. It's a 3 mana spell and it summons 2 2/2s treants. There's also living mana that makes 2/2 treants that have, you know, they use your mana crystals, but if you transform them into the ancients, their death rattle I don't think triggers. So you're making a bunch of 5/5s, but you gave up a lot of your mana to do so. So normally we're not, like, I was thinking living mana, Tree Speaker, bada bing bada boom, we're happy sauce, but we don't want to go back to 1 mana when we make a bunch of 5/5s. Granted, on turn 6, if you go like living mana into Tree Speaker, you know, there's not a lot of turn 6 spells that are going to be able to deal with 4 to 5 5/5s, plus you would probably just have lethal the turn after, right? So maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not, but I don't really see you wanting to use all of your mana crystals to make 5/5s. So this will be in more of like, there's not enough things that make treants at the moment. There's like 3 cards in the game that make treants, right? You got the Soul of the Forest, that when a creature dies, it turns into a treant. You have the 3 mana, you know, I don't remember what it's like 3 mana. There's actually 4 cards. There's, yeah, the 3 mana make 2. Then there's a 6 mana card that makes 2 treants. And then there's the there's like an apple thing, and it's like a 3 mana apple make 3 treants. So I mean, maybe, but your treants aren't living. That's the thing. You're gonna play treants. So normally this guy comes out, right? And you have to have treants on the board. So let's say, for example, you have 2 treants. You're giving for 5 mana, he's a 4/4, and you're giving your treants +3/+3. And then they can't attack in the same turn. Like, but if you think of Fungal Mancer, he's a 5 mana 2/2, but he gives +2/+2, but they can attack right away. So this guy is statted a little bit higher. He gives a little bit better buff, but the minions can't attack. And plus you need minions on the board, so he's more of a win more. So at the moment, I don't see this card being that great until they print more treant stuff. And what is it? Force of Nature. That's also a treant making thing. So I'm probably gonna miss a few here, guys. I'm not a big treant guy, but I don't think anybody's a big treant guy. That'd be a really weird thing to be. If you could be anything, it's like, yeah, I'm the treant guy. It's like, what? Why would you be that? 4 mana, mark the lowest, choose one, give a minion +2/+4 and taunt or summon 3/2 raptors. So obviously both of these picks individually aren't very good. This is a card that's like you have to use with Fandral. And Fandral was a card that rotated out a while ago, but Fandral, for those of you who are newer, Fandral said your abilities like this that say choose one, you get both. So if you play Fandral and then play this, you would actually give a minion +2/+4, and you would be able to summon the 2 raptors, which is really, really good. That's why Power of the Wild was so powerful with him. You'd be able to create the minion and buff the minion. So without Fandral, I don't think this card is very good. Maybe in a token deck, 4 mana, you summon 2 dudes. But the 2/4 is really bad in taunt. So like, yeah, I don't see this card being very good. Gunk the Raptor. This is the Shibidi big ol' long slong in the deck, or the new legendaries for druids. 7 mana, 4/9 beast. After your hero attacks and it kills a minion, it may attack again. So basically what it's saying is you can play this, you have Malfurion out, right? And you hero power, you turn your attack into 3, and then you can pounce, am I right? You pounce. Now your attack is 5. And then you can kill a minion, kill a minion, kill a minion, kill a minion. You can kill as many minions as you want, as long as it kills them with the 5 attack. So, do you, like, right now, Druid doesn't really have a ton of great removal. They have, like, Swipe, Naturalize, and Spellstone. Eventually, those, Spellstone will eventually rotate out. But yeah, beyond that, there's not a lot. So, if this said, like, obviously, you can't go face. Because as it says, if it kills a minion, it may attack again. So I guess you could kill a minion and then go face with it. But like, ideally, you're wanting to clear the board, I suppose. Like, let's say, you don't have a swipe and they have a bunch of 1/1s out. You just like start smacking the hell out of the 1/1s, like Paladin, for example. But I guess Spreading Plague as well. So if you don't have Spreading Plague, because that'll rotate out, and then not this set, but the next one, like you just have the ability to clear the board a bunch of small minions or even medium size minions when you have this guy out. And this guy's actually statted pretty good. Like a 7 mana 4/9, that's like stat wise is not terrible. Like most 7 mana cards are around 7/7, right? So if you get rid of the 9, you put a 7 there and you bump the 4 up, it's like a 6/7. There's a 7 mana 6/7. So, I don't know. 9 health is a lot, and 4 attack is plenty. So, I don't think this, like, I don't want to call it bad. I really don't want to call it bad. I'm not calling this card bad yet. I'm calling it possible. Like, I'm going to play this card. I mean, I don't know if, I don't know what we're going to do with it, but I'm sure as hell going to try to play that card. War Druid Ludi? Ludi the War Druid. Yo, her weapon looks badass, man. Yo, 3 mana, 1/2, choose one, transform into Lodi's 4 dinosaur forms. And I'm pretty sure all the forms kind of suck. Right? Does it even tell me the forms? No. Can I click on her and she transforms? No. Can I scroll? Can I? Ooh, I can like make her bounce. Look at that. I can make the card bounce. What the fuck's the point of this? Out of all the things they could have done here, I can make the card bounce and my screen do fucking disco lights. Thanks, Blizzard. This is what I wanted with my cards. This is brilliant. All right. Sure. Stampeding Roar. sorry. 6 mana, summon a random beast from your hand and give it rush. It's pretty bad. right? Like, why? Random beast. Not even charge. Rush. Rush. Yeah, this card's bad. Spirit of the Raptor, 1 mana, 0/3, stealth for 1 turn. After your hero attacks and kills a minion, draw a card. Wow. You guys see the combo here, dude? You play this guy, all right, for 7. You play this for 1. You have Malfurion out. You hero power for 3, and you kill 1 minion, and you get to draw 1 card. Fucking brilliant. Yeah, that card's bad. Druid, like, I mean, they have UI. Exactly. Oh, man. Predatory Instincts, 4 mana, draw a beast from your deck, double its health. Wow, guys, do you see the combo here now? You can on turn 4 Predatory Instincts, you draw a beast from your deck and double its health, and then you play Stampeding Roar, and you pray to God it pulls that random beast from your hand, and because it has double the amount of health, it's gonna be double the amount of health, and then you can rush. Wow, they're really making some interesting combos here, chat. These are very powerful cards. Not. 7 mana. Oh, we've already gone over that guy. We've already went over this guy too. So this is another guy that, like, if this guy's good, if this guy is gonna be good, this guy's gonna be good. So, Taunt Druid. Why would you play this in Taunt Druid? The only beast in your deck is Hadronox. And you don't care about Hadronox, about the health of Hadronox, because you just care about the little guy dying, which is very sad. Like, I have a minion in this deck, and all I want him to do is die. Moving to Hunter. Hazelazai the Lynx. I know I said it wrong. Please don't yell at me. 5 mana, 3/2. Holy shit, that stat line sucks. Battlecry. Fill your hand with 1/1 lynxes that have rush. Dude, do hunters even need to get to 5 mana before they win? So, I mean, Quest Hunter, right? It's an instant Quest Hunter completer. Maybe Quest Hunter will be a thing. Because this gets Quest Hunter in the game, baby. I mean, this just makes Quest Hunter like bada bing, bada boom. Like, you could actually, like, play a decent deck and then just have this in Quest. You know what I mean? And then just, like, there's this guy. Discover a minion and I'll fall through a beast, draw him. So you just have like a deck, right? With a whole bunch of, I mean, this is just what I'm thinking off the bat. I don't even know if this is gonna be. You just have a deck, bunch of fucking beasts. You have the quest in there. You can have some big minions. You have some small minions. It doesn't even really matter. You don't need a deck full of 1s. You have a decent amount of draw now because you got this shit in here. And then, yeah, whenever you draw this, your quest is just done. Your quest is really only 1 card. And then you fill the rest of your deck with a bunch of meme little, like, fucking raptors. And then this guy lets you replay the quest, which puts even more raptors in your deck. So you could have a deck literally just filled with fucking raptors, and it could be a mid-range deck. So if you're not drawing your raptors, you're drawing your mid-range cards. I don't know. Maybe we could do something cool with that. We'll see. Either way, this looks bad. This actually, I don't think is that bad. This looks bad because the lynxes that have rush, it's the what would this, right? Oh no, it doesn't have death rattle. Okay, never mind. For some reason I was thinking the card that it gives you, it has rush, and then it makes another card that has rush. So it's just one of the thing that comes out of the spring paw. Okay, it's just a 1/1 with rush. Okay, I was thinking this gives you a 1/1 with rush that makes a 1/1 with rush. All right, never mind. All right, the power level of this card just significantly decreased in my mind, but still not bad. Spirited, well, all right. Let me put I probably should have started a rating scale. My not bad is probably, when looking at competitive cards, fucking horrible. Like, I look at cards and I have faith and I play with them even though I know they're shit, because they're fun and I have fun. So there'll be, Rob, how could you possibly say this card is not bad? Well, you know, it's not horrible. It could be a 5-mana 1/1. That's horrible. It's a 5-mana 3/2. We're making progress. So just keep in mind, my way of looking at cards is not looking at it through a competitive lens at the moment. I'm looking at this for pure enjoyment, because if I'm not enjoying myself when playing new cards, what the fuck are you doing playing cards? All right, so we got that out on the table. Spirit of the Link, stealth for 1 turn. Whenever you summon a beast, give it 1/1. Oh my god. Dude, can any of you figure out the combo here? You do this, and then you play this, and then you play all your 1/1s to get 2/2s. Dude, how do they think of these combos? Wow. So you pay 3 mana. You pay 3 mana, and you have to play 3 beasts just to make this become a 3-mana 3/3. The next turn. This is horrible. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's really good. In my mind, this is just not good. If it said, whenever you summon a beast, give it +1 attack and draw a card. Ooh, daddy. But just +1/+1? Like, I can play a 2-mana card, and he can give +1/+1 to every card in my deck for 1/3 less mana. And he actually has attack. Headhunter's Hatchet. 2 mana, 2/2 battle cry. If you control a beast, gain 1 durability. It's actually really good. This is good. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is overall just a really good weapon. This does not look like a hunter's weapon, though. I'm not gonna lie. This does not look. This looks like a warrior weapon, or like, why does it have a skull on it? Why does it have fur on it? Why does it have a green glow? This is like a warlock warrior weapon. This is like a warlockadin weapon. You know what I mean? This does not scream hunter. I mean, I understand the head hunters, because there's like a head on it, head hunter. But like, does this look like a hunter? I would never in my entire life see a hunter have this weapon. A beast within. It's a giant panther with like fucking glowing nastiness attacking all the little murlocs. Give a friendly beast +1/+1, and then it attacks a random enemy minion. Oh man, this is fucking ass. These are just like shitty cards that you like randomly generate through some way. I don't know. This is fucking horrible. Card sucks. This card, however, I think this card is really good. I mean, they could have cropped this guy a little bit better. Like, this hero, like, he's really good, but he looks like shit. Like, this hero is so underwhelmingly, like, this is such a great World of Warcraft and Warcraft like hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's personality is a thick daddy. Like, this guy is a badass, and they make him look like fucking, you know, you got just like, you know, Hero of the Month award. Like, Zul'Din, can you like stand there and smile as we take your picture? Like, he's not doing anything cool. And there's not even a background. They use like a bright blue background, like fucking PewDiePie uses in his goddamn video thumbnails. This is such an underwhelming picture. Sorry. Battle Cry. Cast all spells you played this game. Targets yours and choosing randomly. So he's Yogg. But hunter spells are pretty good, especially the ones that cost like a lot, like Animal Companion. Well, yeah, Animal Companion. Whatever the one is above that, it's like Summon the Doggos. It's not Summon the Doggos. It's what is it? It summons 2 of the Doggos. It's a 6 mana card. And then there's the 9 mana one, which is even bigger. It's Summon all Doggos. Yeah, so this is really good in a no minion hunter deck. Really good in a no minion hunter deck. And spell stones, of course. So this guy's really good. I expect to see a lot of play from him. And then his hero power, he turns your deal 2 damage hero power directly to face to a hero power that costs 2 that you can use on anything that does 2 damage. So not quite as good as Gul'dan's hero power, where you can deal 3 damage to whatever you want and then you heal for 3. This only does 2 and you heal for none. But for the love of God, if they continue to print cards like Gul'dan in this game after Gul'dan himself, I'll be very disappointed, because they need to learn their lesson that they can't print cards like that. That's too good. Card is too good. I mean, they can print cards like that, but they have to make them into like Draxus, where Draxus, like, the highest health you can have is 15. That's pretty significant, right? Gul'dan, you can still be at 30. Ooh, and then Draxus, you know what I mean? You lose all armor and you go down to 15, you can't change that. Draxus is very good, but there's a very good drawback, or a very bad drawback. 3 mana, 2/4 battle cry. If you have a weapon equipped, discover a spell. Well, we've learned that discovering spells are really good, and discovering spells for low cost mana is really good, and then discovering spells in a minion body that doesn't die immediately is really good. So I see here what could potentially be a pretty solid card, and especially if you have, like, your eagle horn bows, you got your headhunter, warrior, warlock axes out, and you got your candle shots. I don't see why this card would not see play in some form of mid-range hunter eventually. Maybe not right away, because people aren't going to play her. But I wouldn't mind, seeing her. I don't think she's desperately bad. She does have a requirement, but she's still a 3 mana 2/4. It's not like absolutely trash stats. And discovering a spell, hunters have a lot of good spells. I like her bow. Master's Call, 3 mana, discover a minion in your deck. If all 3 are beasts, draw them all. So obviously this is high risk, high reward, right? You either discover 1 minion, so it's a 3 mana, draw 1 card. It's basically worse than a Farsight. It's worse than almost every other draw spell for 3 mana. Or if you get lucky and they're all beasts, then you just turn into Super Nene, and then you just draw them all. So if you're running an all beast deck, if every minion in your deck is a beast, you've got nothing to worry about. Unless you run Houndmaster, and then you get Nene'd. Revenge of the Wild, 2 mana, summon your beast that died this turn. So this is like, a lot of people are on the fence about this. So I watched this card in particular piqued my interest, because off the bat it seems really good. And I'm gonna say it's good, and I could be very wrong, but paying 2 mana to resummon all beasts that died, it's a win more, yes, because you have to have some sort of beast that died this turn. But even if you're just summoning 2 1/1s, or even if you're like, worst case scenario, you trade like a 3/2 beast into a 3/2 into something else, and a 3/2 dies, you're basically just playing another minion. You're playing a 3/2 minion, right? Like, worst case, you're just getting 1 minion out of it, right? And it's probably going to be at least a minion that cost you 2 mana to begin with. Best case, you're resummoning like big daddy stuff, like Savannah High mains, and like maybe 2 or 3 minions at a time. So I don't see how this card could be bad, other than like if you're losing the game and you top deck this. It's a terrible top deck, yes, but it's a fantastic card if you and your opponent is either equal on board, and and you're looking to get ahead. And it's also really good if you have the game and you're just wanting to push it that much over. And one other quick downside is maybe you don't want to, like, Hunter's not really known for trading, right? Like, most of the time when hunters can go face and deal a lot of damage, they will choose that option above all else. So this, you know, makes it look like maybe you hunters can go on more of a, you know, go toe to toe with some value decks, right? And they'll actually be able to do other stuff than do Rexar and just randomly fucking generate beasts every turn until they randomly generate something that's just so amazing for that particular turn that you end up just losing. So, you know, pretty good card. I think it's a really good card in my opinion. A lot of people will say otherwise, but if another class had that, you know, if Druid had a card that says summon all of the minions that died this turn, it would be like amazing. So why would that be bad in Hunter? I guess that's a bad ideology. Just because it's good for one deck doesn't mean it's good for another, but either way, you know what I'm saying. Baited Arrow, 5 mana, overkill, deal 3 damage. We've already covered this. It's really good in Spell Hunter. And then Spring Paul is gonna, like, I think this card's like one of the best Hunter cards that came out of all of these cards actually. Just because it's gonna see play in every single Hunter deck besides Death Rattle Hunter and no Minion Hunter, obviously. But this card is just really, really good. Yo, and again, a quick shout out to everybody who dropped a sub already, you know, before the stream even started. Let me take a look, see, just to make sure I got everybody right. It's saying only Bolus resubbed, but on my screen, I thought it was many more. Yeah, it shows Pip-Boy with the resub and Bolus with the resub. So I appreciate you guys. I don't know why it's not showing all of... I'm not sure why it's not showing everybody. But I appreciate it. It's still not showing you, Pip-Boy. It's just showing the Bolus. That's okay. As long as I know. And you know. Alright, Scorch. 4 mana, deal 4 damage to a minion, cost 1 if you play an elemental last turn. So very similar. It's Wing Blast. Actually, nah, it's not Wing Blast at all. Cost 1 if you play an elemental last. And it has to be a minion. I mean, it's just one of those cards that you'd play in like a, an elemental mage because you're memeing around. I don't see how like it costing 1 is that big of a deal. Like it's dependent on your opponent playing a card that you would want to Scorch. You know what I'm saying? So you play an elemental, and then they play a card, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I want to play. It's a really good tempo play. I give it that. So you play elementals, and then your opponent plays like a 4 HP creature or a 5 HP creature, and then you Scorch it for 1. Ping it, and then maybe you play another minion or something like that. But I don't particularly think this card is that good, and they can't print cards that are really that good because they have Fireball and Frostbolt, and you literally just cannot beat those cards. Like you just can't print better than Fireball and Frostbolt, and that's the reason why that basic our core set needs to rotate or do something with it, because they'll never be able to make better than a Fireball. Like Fireball and Frostbolt are just so good, right? So this can't like even come close to those. Or they would just play Fireball, Frostbolts, and then whatever the new Fireball is, and then your whole deck would wind up being Fireballs and Frostbolts. Splitting Image, 3 mana, secret. When one of your minions is attacked, summon a copy of it. So this is like something that would go in like Big Mage, and it's good that you were saying like secrets now that aren't just defensive secrets, because most of the secrets that we have now are very defensive. We have Counterspell, we've got Spellbender, we've got Ice Barrier, Explosive Rune. All of those are mostly defensive, besides Explosive Rune, secrets that you would play. And currently, if you look at the Big Mage build, there's no secrets in Big Mage. Like they don't want to be defensive, they want to be offensive, but they don't want to run Explosive Runes because it's not helping them either generate more big minions or make the big minions come out faster. So now you have like Splitting Image, which can be used when you're playing cards like Mountain Giant in your deck, and Syndragosa and Ragnaros. Now you have a Ragnaros on the board, and they try to attack it, and you make another Ragnaros. So it's pretty good. It's obviously not good in a mage deck that runs smaller minions, but if you're like running more of a control style big mage deck, this is pretty solid. Granted, if they use spells to kill it, it doesn't really do anything, but yo, what up, Snail? What's going on, dude? Yo, Apples with the host. Appreciate it, man. Elemental Evocation, 0 mana. The next elemental you play this turn cost 2 less. Man, did Blizzard not learn that? Did Blizzard not learn that Innervate was not a healthy card for the game? Now they just printed Innervate, but just for elementals. I mean, I don't think there's I don't think there's that many very big elementals, right, that Mage plays that would make significant differences. Rag coming back from the Hall of Fame? No, it's their new legendary. Snail. If your hero power dealt 8 damage this game, summon Ragnaros. That's why I said that. If they print any big elemental that's not, like, right now there's Baron, right? But that's like, he has 5 HP. That's not that hard to deal with. I mean, obviously, if you don't deal with him, it's very bad, but it's not impossible to deal with. I mean, I guess if they have 2 elemental evocations, right, and a coin, you can play Baron turn 2. And that's bad. Turn 3, most classes can't kill 5 HP. But this card, yeah, this card is very good. This card is very, very good. Like, this card is very, very good. Regardless, like, even if they're playing it on, like, any card that lets you cheat mana, especially Mage, like, this card's good. Arcanosaur. Wow, this guy looks really cool. 6 mana, 3/3 elemental battle cry. If you played an elemental last turn, deal 3 damage to all other minions. So, all other minions. So they obviously have to print more AoE for Mage, because when the next rotation hits, they're losing, you know, Meteor. From I think that came out in Journey, so onto Goro, so that's coming. That's losing. We're losing Meteor and then Dragon Fury thingy, right? 5 mana one. So now we got to replace those cards with other AoE. So let's replace them with Elemental AoE. So yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, he won't see play right now, but he will see play. Like, when Mage starts running low on AoE, this guy's gonna come out. Last wave. 5 mana, deal 2 damage to all minions, and then overkill at a random Mage spell to your hand. So I had a question about this card. I don't know if any of you can answer it. So let's, for example, your opponent has 3 1/1s out, right? Say it's a Paladin, and you deal 2 damage to those 3 1/1 minions. Do you get 3 Mage spells because you overkilled 3 minions? Or if it's just you overkill one of them, then you get 1 card. Okay, so you get 3. Okay, that's pretty good. Mage spells because you overkill. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I'm just how it. You know what I mean? It should work with it. However many minions you overkill, you should get those cards. But as we all know, you know, Hearthstone is the most consistent game we've ever seen ever. So consistency is something they always prize themselves on. So, you know, how could I have ever been confused with a card like this? You guys are right. Hearthstone consistency. Always on point. Well, I mean, this is going to be one memey ass card, man. I feel like... I mean, obviously it's no Meteor. But it's really solid against aggressive decks, especially if it can get, like, you know, an extra +1 damage. You throw down like a Blood Mage or something like that, you know, pretty solid. And most of the time random Mage spells are really good. So we've covered this guy. I thought this guy was fairly decent. This card, I do not like this card. The only time this card is good is if you're playing against, like, a Paladin. That's basically it. I think we covered this guy. No, yeah, we definitely covered this guy. Definitely be seeing play in like control mage, you know, summoning Ragnaros for 7 mana, plus having a 4/4 body out. It's just pretty good, right? So no complaints there. I don't understand like where this picture fits into the mage class. You know what I'm saying? Like this doesn't. If it didn't have a blue border and you said where does this card belong, I would say Magic the Gathering. This artwork is not Hearthstone artwork. This is Magic the Gathering artwork or something like that. This picture and this image does not match this or this. We've been over this guy and this guy. Yeah, I don't particularly think this guy is that good. He reminds me of a rock star though. I think Paladin didn't really get anything that interesting. That's this guy. Blood Claw, 1 mana, 2/2, deal 5 damage to your hero. Like, why? Why would I do this to myself? I like the weapon though. Like, that's a cool like weapon. It has like a tiger head with spikes, and then like you fling it around like a flail. Like, seems pretty good. Go back to the Hex guy. We went over him last time. He's an 8 mana, 5/5 battle cry. Add a copy of your opening hand to your hand. Except this card. It's obviously not infinite. He's not. I mean, he'll. Like, I think in my review I said he'll see play once bigger, like once Jaina rotates out and stuff like that. Then cards like him will see play because the power level will be significantly dampened. I think this card is asshole. I think Flashlight is good in any sort of combo paladin. I don't know if they will exist. But you know, for 2 mana drawing a card and restoring 4, I mean that sounds about right. You know what I mean? If it was restore 6, I would say it'd be really, really, really good. But restore 4 makes it so it's not like over the wall. And the draw a card, I mean, we know draw a card is really not worth a lot. Draw a card is worth basically 1 mana. Maybe slightly over 1 mana. So restoring 4 health for the other 1 mana is good. And it says just restore 4 health, which means you can target a minion. So it has, you know, some utility there. Battle Axe, 5 mana, 3/3, overkill, give a minion +2/+2 in your hand. So it's like the overkill, so it has a requirement. It costs a lot and its attack is very low. I do not like this weapon. I do not think this is that great of a card. Like, paladins just have a lot of really good weapons. And, you know, this is not one of them, in my opinion. This guy, though, super interesting. So, Battlecry, convert all but one of your hero's health into armor. So, if you have 30 health, you're going to have 1 health and 29 armor. Then, you're going to be able to heal your guy and then have, you know, 30 health and 29 armor. You know what I mean? So now you can have more health, because before, I mean, you can't heal over 30, but if you take away health and get armor, you can then heal back up. So this guy is super interesting. And then stat wise, he's really good too. Like stat wise, 3 mana, 3/4 isn't bad. And there's almost no drawback to playing this guy. Like having armor and health are exactly the same thing. Almost. So you're just, you know, at the beginning of the game, this guy is really solid. Because if you're at 30 life, you can't heal yourself to combo with cards like this. This is if you're restored 10 health this game, gain 4/4 in taunt. So if you really just don't like those, if you're at, you know, you're going against another control deck and they're not really doing a lot of damage to you, you're not healing for anything because you didn't take any damage. So being able to deal 29 damage to yourself allows you to make like you're healing for at least 10 that game, because your opponent's not going to heal you. And if they do, oh, so if you've restored, so in outplay, dude, you could be playing against a priest and the priest heals you back to 30 before you can heal for 10, and then this guy doesn't get the activator. I wonder, chat, if that will ever be an outplay. So like, for example, this guy needs 2 more. The paladin needs to heal for 2 more, right? And the priest he's going against heals the paladin to 30, so he can't heal himself to 30 to get the 2 extra to give this guy the 4+4. You know what I mean? That would be so next level. And I'm glad I'm thinking of it now, because I will, if I have this ever a thing, I will keep track of how much they've healed, and if I can heal them so they can't heal themselves, I will do it, because it says if you've restored. Well, is it you've as in your character, or you've as in the player? Because if I heal them, does that count as you've restored? I don't know. We'll have to see. But you guys know what I'm saying. That Spirit of the Tiger, stealth for 1 turn after you cast a spell. We've been over this. It's not bad. Challenger, this card, we went over this. It's shit. Timeout, we went over this. I was very upset. This card was interesting, and this card was one of the first cards we reviewed. It was pretty good. Two mana, 3/2 battle cry. This turn your healing effects deal damage instead. The Phantasm. Yo, she looked bad. I mean, there's been cards like this that have been printed in the past, and there's still cards like this in the game, like Alkanai Soul Priest. So like, does this make a difference, chat? Like, does this card, like, where does this fit? Is there any new combo that you can do because you played a 2 mana that lets your, you know, healing do damage? Other than the fact that you can play her and then play Circle of Healing, so now you have a turn 2 deal 4 damage to everything. Maybe. Yeah, you know, it's not bad, and her stats are good. You know what I mean? Just stat wise, she's pretty good. Like 2 mana 3/2. That's just good. I would have, if she was a 2 mana 2/2, I'd be disappointed. And a 2 mana 2/3 is annoying. So yeah, I think the stat line is pretty fair. Well, yeah, I mean, look at Regenerate, another 0 mana card. So this is what I'm saying. Like, these 0 mana cards, they don't look that impressive, but alongside of like her, so now you can on turn 2 you can play her, and then for 0 mana you can deal 3 damage to a creature. For 2 mana you're dealing 3 and summoning a 3/2 and killing a minion. So, you know, you gotta be careful about these 0 mana cards. They look not so good. You're just like, 0 mana, I have to gain 3 health. But alongside of like also like Velen and Malygos and her, you know, so 0 mana doubles it, or it actually adds 5 to 8, so that's 16. Yeah, this is 0 mana 16 damage. Yeah, if you have Velen and Malygos out, and then her or Soul Priest, this is 0 mana 16 damage. That's pretty good. Mass Hysteria. This is the new, oh god, everybody's gonna hate Priest, man. A 5 mana Mass Hysteria. Force each other minion to attack another random minion. So basically a board clear. I wonder what that's gonna look like the animation for it. Oh, you know how annoying this is gonna be? You know how annoying of a card this is, chat? If you thought Psychic Scream was annoying, this comes out 2 turns sooner and it kills your minions. Oh god, this card is so obnoxious. I hate this card. Oh man. Three mana 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 zombie with taunt. Why? Is token priest a thing, chat? Did I miss the token priest memo? What's the deal? I don't know. I don't know. 2 mana, choose a copy of a minion. Choose a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. What do you guys think? I like it. It's basically being able to play a third copy of any card you want. And it says choose a minion. Doesn't even have to be your, it doesn't have to be your minion, it could be them. I honestly, I don't mind this card at all. I think this card's pretty cool. I think this is a well-designed card. I like this card. Eight mana, 7/5. Summon all minions from your hand that didn't start in your deck. So the whole like random priest thing, right? Like randomly generate, but like in your hand that didn't start in your deck. What priest? Like Thought Steal. I know there's some cards, but I mean, fuck. I mean, so those cards are gonna have like battle cries and trigger effects. You know what I mean? Do you really want to slap them down without getting their effects? You know what this should say instead? And that would actually make it playable. It should say battle cry. All minions and spells that didn't start in your deck cost 0. Then this card is playable. Or cost 1. Because 0 is scary. They could cost 1. Right? Then this card is cool and it's playable. Right now it's not playable. No one's gonna play this card. Technically the cards that come back from the totem didn't start in your deck. So if they die on board, the minions cost 1. It should say battle cry, repeat all battle cries. Oh, thank you for that. Oh god. Yeah, but are you really gonna play the totem? Are you really playing this? Okay, seriously, you're gonna play Spirit of the Dead, and then you're gonna play minions, you're gonna play Spirit of the Dead, and then you're gonna put them in your deck, and then you're gonna play this card for 7 mana, and you're gonna get them all in your hand. But they only cost 1. What's the point of summoning them all if they cost fucking 1 anyway? What my ability would make this guy summon, make them all cost 1. It mitigates this piece of shit and this piece of shit. I combined all 3 of these shitty cards into one not shitty card. Oh god. Grave Horror, 12 mana. Cost 1 less for each spell you've cast this game. Oh, okay. I like his artwork. It's actually a pretty. I like this card. Priests have tons of spells. Yeah, this is gonna be played in Inner Fire Divine Spirit Priest. Probably 100% of the time. Because he's gonna end up being like how many spells they play per turn. Like this guy's gonna end up being like a 0 mana guy. And if you bring this guy back with, you know, Spellstone, you're pretty happy about it. So this might actually replace the Grizzly in the deck. Maybe not, but I think you're sleeping on the totem, Rob. After a friendly minion dies, shuffle a 1-cost copy of it in your deck. Maybe. I may be sleeping on this. Like Priest, like right now, no one knows what Priest does. Like right now, Priest is in this weird thing where all they do is combo. Like all priests has they used to be a control priest, but then that's gone because Entomb and stuff is gone. Now the only priests that exist are combo based decks. Priests don't even have they're not healing, they're not controlling. All they're doing is killing you in one turn with some topsy-turvy bullshit, which doesn't even like resemble. Priests aren't topsy-turvy. Priests are, you know, healy things. And then you have the other one, which is, you know, summon Malygos and Velen and Mind Blast your opponent, which is supposed to be like a Shadow Priest thing. But that's not Shadow Priest. That's just a Resurrect Priest. So the priests are in this weird limbo of like not having like an archetype. Like they're just combo. That's all. It's just a combo deck. And does this like fit into your combo deck? Not really, because you're not going to play this card because you don't want this card to get resurrected with Spellstone. So this would fit into a control priest deck. Yes, maybe. But where are the control priest cards? Where I see token priest on the rise, baby. We've covered the rest of the cards. Stolen Seal. Discover a weapon from another class. Yeah, no. This card's good. Matt. Rush, Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each other pirate you control. I mean, so it's kind of like a win more. You know, you have other pirate. You need at least 2 other pirates on the board to make this guy like. Yeah, you need like 2 other pirates to make this guy worthwhile. 2 mana 3/3 with Rush. Then this guy is good. If you have only, you know, 1 other pirate on the board, he's a 2 mana 2/2 with Rush, which is very similar to the warrior card. It's like Worgen, Raging Worgen. It's a 3 mana 3/3 with Rush, and that's, you know, doesn't see play ever. So I mean, it does, but it's bad. You know what I'm saying? It sees play, but it's not very good. So this guy needs 2 other pirates on the board. 7 mana 5/7. Battlecry, discover a 1/1 copy of a Battlecry minion. It costs 1. I mean, there's a lot of Battlecry minions. And they're like, for example, if you play this guy and then you get this, you are unsatisfied. If you play this guy and you get Captain Hook, you're satisfied. That's a very swingy card. I don't see this, and it's not. This guy's not even a pirate, even though he has a fucking peg leg. This guy has a peg leg. He looks like a pirate, but he's not a pirate. This guy was a pirate, maybe. This guy's not even a pirate. Fuck this guy. Captain Hook. 8 mana 6/3 Battlecry. Summon 3 pirates from your deck. Give them a rush. I mean, if pirate rogue is a thing, this card will be a thing. So it has 8 mana with 3 HP. And she also, by the way, does not have Rush. She says 3 summon 3 pirates from your deck, give them Rush. So she doesn't even have Rush. So walk the plank. Oh my god, you're being so mean to that gnome, you fucking bitch. 4 mana, walk the plank, destroy an undamaged minion. So he's basically like a Vile Spine Slayer is gonna leave us. How do we replace Vile Spine Slayer with something not as good as Vile Spine Slayer? Let's make it cost 1 less mana and let's make it be a spell instead of a minion. Boom. Kinda like Vile Spine Slayer, strictly worse. Grawl the Shark. We went over this guy, he's bad. Raiding Party, went over that card, it's good. Cannon Barrage, went over that card, we said it could be good. Spirit of the Shark, we went over this, we said it's absolutely bonkers. Moving on. Wartbringer. 1 mana 2/1 Battlecry. If you play 2 spells this turn, do 2 damage. Ooh. Bad. I mean, stat-wise, 1 mana 2/1 isn't bad, and its Battlecry requires you to have 2 other spells. Most spells are going to cost anywhere between 3 to 6 mana, casting like, so basically you have a early game play, or you can play this in the later stages and it just gets a little bit more value, or chat, you can just play a good 1 mana card that does more than just be like, it doesn't have a requirement, it's just good on its own. Or you could just play a late game card that has no requirement. So I don't know, maybe in some like damage shaman this will see play. Like maybe there's some like, you know, shaman deck that like does a bunch of damage in one turn, and then this is just like makes it go, you know what I mean? It's just like the extra 2 damage, or it like doubles up somehow. I don't know. I don't see it. The frog. 6 mana, 4/6. Stats are alright. Battle cry, return all spells you played last turn to your hand. Ooh, that's really good. Yeah, that's very solid. But keep in mind, chat, that the spells that you played last turn, if they have overload and you don't have 6 mana this turn, so for example, you played it's turn 5 or 6 and you play Volcano overloads you 2 and you can't play the frog this turn because you're overloaded. So you know what I mean? You just gotta, it's not like a card that you're gonna be able to like double overload and then be like, oh, I'm gonna get my overloads back and I'm on nay. It's like, no, you gotta pay attention to that overload. But besides that, you know, it's pretty good. Like there's a lot of value to be brought to this. Like you play Farsight, you know, you start playing lava bursts, or it's later in the game when you have 10 mana, and even if you overload 4, you can still play her. It's a very value oriented card. What I see her being played in probably the most, and where I would like to see her, is Big Shaman. Because right now, if you think about it, Big Shaman revolves on, like, it has a limited amount of combo potential because of the spells. Because when you Ancestral Spirit something and you give it that Death Rattle ability and then you make more of it, those are the only ones that you have in the deck. You only can do that combo twice. So now if you do, you give your card Death Rattle, Ancestral Spirit, right? And then you Spellstone it. That you're not overloaded that turn. You just used 9 mana, and then you're able to play her the following turn, and you're gonna get your Ancestral Spirit and you're gonna get your Spellstone back. So you're gonna be able to use your combo to create 4/4. You're gonna be able to create 4 minions that all have Death Rattle back, so you can do it 3 times. So I mean, that's what I see. Any like, you want big, like, you don't want to just return like small mediocre spells. Like you're doing this to set up for some sort of combo, but you need to use them multiple times. Like Big Shaman is what comes to mind. Bog Sluicer, 3 mana, 3/3 elemental battle cry, return a friendly minion to your hand, give it 2/2. I mean, that's just pretty, it's just a pretty good card, because a lot of shaman's cards have like really good battle cries, like the frog card we just went over. So yeah, I mean, you know, you play the frog, right? And then you bounce her to your hand, and then she becomes like a 6/8. I mean, that's just pretty beefy, right? So obviously it's 9 mana and you don't do anything to the board but play a 3/3, but you have shit value. So yeah, more Shudder potential. Yeah, fuck Shudder, dude. I like the artwork on this card a lot too. Big Bad Voodoo, 2 mana, give a friendly minion Death Rattle, summon a random minion that costs 1 more. That's garbage. Spirit of the Frog, it's Wednesday, my dudes. Dude, he looks so elegant. He's got like each element around him. Stealth, whenever you cast a spell, draw a spell from your deck that costs 1 more. I don't really think that's that good. 1 mana, deal 2 damage, summon a basic totem. I said this is really good. This card is very good. This card is very good. Haunting Visions, 3 mana. The next spell you cast this turn costs 3 less. Discover a spell. So this is very good as well, I think. Right? What this says is it's this is a Farsight that you get to pick what you Farsight and you discover a spell, right? It's a 0 mana discover a spell, but you're able to discount another card in your hand. I think it's pretty good. I hate the artwork for this one. 2 mana, 1/3, has +2 attack while you have overloaded mana crystals. I mean, overload shaman, yeah, right, but like, I don't know, man. Like, you normally just play Doomhammer, right? And then that takes up most of your weapon slots. So if you're playing Doomhammer and you draw this, you're never playing this because Doomhammer lasts so long. We went over this girl. She's fucking crazy. Rain of Toads, we went over it. It's pretty decent. All right, Warlock, what you got for me? Blood, Troll, Sapper, 7 mana, 5/8. Pretty beefy stats. After a friendly minion dies, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty annoying. Like, oh man, it says friendly minion though. I thought, all right, if this was after a minion dies, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero, you know how good this would be? It would actually be a really good common. Blizzard making a really good common. Oh gosh, don't make me laugh, chat. Oh god. Demon Bolt. Ooh, I like the artwork. 8 mana, destroy a minion, costs 1 less for each minion you control. So it's like a zoo card. Alright, you got like 4 minions on board. You got a 4 mana, destroy a minion. It's not even a demon. Just green eyes. She looks very demony. She has fucking wings. Whatever, dude. She has the same stat line Illidan should. I agree. Illidan should have way more. Illidan should at least have 6 HP. Like, come on, man. No, he should have 7 HP. Yeah. Illidan should have the same stat line as Dr. Boom. He's 7 mana, 7/7. That's like printing a 5 mana 7/7 or 5 mana 6/6 flying in fucking Magic. So Demon Bolt, I mean, it's good in like a deck that has at least, you know, 3 or 4 minions on the board, and if not, like we know destroying a minion is and healing for 3 is Siphon Soul, and that shit is worth 6 mana. So if you're playing this card and you only have 2 minions on board, it's strictly worse than Siphon Soul. So this is only going to work in a deck that revolves around having a lot of minions on the board. And if you have a lot of minions on the board, you're probably playing an aggressive deck. And if you're playing an aggressive deck, you don't really care about killing their minions. So maybe Demon Bolt will see play, but it sucks that Demon Bolt... I would have wanted to see Demon Bolt do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, this artwork and this card is too cool to be this shit. Like, how about this? Demon Bolt. For every minion that's died this turn, it does that much damage. So if you have like a zoo deck and they have a taunt in the way, you trade your minions into their taunt. Let's say 5 minions, and now you have a Demon Bolt that does 5 damage. So you're like sacrificing the demons to power the bolt. Demon Bolt. Right? That'd be so cool. I don't know, man. Grim Rally, destroy a friendly minion, give minions +1/+1. This card's good. This card is very solid. Because it can be comboed with other, like, there's a lot of cards out there that are like 1 mana, 1/1's Death Rattle, give a minion +1/+1. So you would just play those. And then, if it dealt damage, I would try to find a way to Maui lock a thing. But, like, it only does damage based on how many minions that died that turn. So in order to, you'd have to have Malygos out, a bunch of minions on the board, and then Demon Bolt. I mean, that's, and then AoE spells that are gonna kill those minions without killing the Malygos. Like, I don't, and then paying the price of the Demon Bolt. Like, that you know what I mean? Like, they obviously have to make it so that that's not like a super easy combo. And it can be played around, but I think the whole Demon Bolt, I mean, it just had the potential to be such a cool card, and they made it like fucking lame. Grim Rally looks pretty cool. It's a really good card. I think it's good. We went over her, more discard lock stuff, discard lock stuff, discard lock stuff, new Defile. Went over that. This card's meme. This card, I didn't like him at all, really. Then we went over this card. Yeah. And we actually went over a good amount of cards. All right, Warrior, give me something good. 1 mana Devastate, deal 4 damage to a damaged minion. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Looks like they're pushing like a warrior or a dragon package with warrior. Dragon's Roar. Add 2 random dragons to your hand. And dragons overall are pretty good. You know, as long as you don't get like fairy dragon. A lot, like most of the dragons are pretty high statted. So, you know, spending 2 mana to make 2. Rob, hear me out. Anixia into Demon Bolt. Okay, so you play it. So you play Anixia. Yeah, I mean, that'd be 6. I mean, how cool would that be to see Anixia played in Zoo for an Anixia Demon Bolt? And you get to do Demon Bolt does 6 damage. So you're playing Anixia to basically have a fireball in your deck. Like, come on, that's cool. That's good stuff. And on top of that, you know, you play Anixia, and it's not like you can attack with your minions right away. They actually have to live. I don't know. Spirit of the Rhino. Rhino. 1 mana, stealth 1 turn. Your rush minions are immune this turn. The turn they're summoned. God, the rush mechanic. I don't know, man. I mean, obviously the Rhino, and then this Rhino, and it's like rush, overkill, draw a rush minion from your deck and give it 5/5, and this doesn't take damage, and then it has immune. It's like rawr. I mean, it's pretty good. It's for 1 mana, it's good because like you're gonna play a rush deck, right? You're gonna play a rush dragon deck, right? That's just what we see here. We see a rush dragon deck, and you spend 1 mana and you make it so your card takes no damage. I mean, it's just pretty good. Ember Scale Drake, 5 mana, 5/5 battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, gain 5 armor. I mean, it's basically Shield Maiden. Shield Maiden was a 6 mana, 5/5, gains, what was it, 6 armor, 5 armor. So this is just a drag, like it's a cool looking Shield Maiden. This is a really cool looking Shield Maiden. But it has a requirement of you having a dragon. But Dragon Warrior, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. The Rhino. I mean, this card's obviously just good, right? I lied. This card is not good. If you don't have any more rush cards from your deck. So obviously, if you have no rush card, actually, I don't know how good this card is. Remember, chat, do you remember? There was a card. It was like, it was the war. It's a give a minion in your hand +5/+5. It was Battle Cry, give a minion in your hand +5/+5, and it was a 7 mana card, and it was statted better than this, and it saw 0 play. So will an 8 mana 5/5 that gives the same thing, you're still getting a 5/5 see play? You know what I'm saying? It was the Donahan Cho. He did the same thing as this, the same exact thing, but he was better statted. Donahan Cho. The honcho. He was ass cheeks. This almost does the same thing. I'm not saying it is exactly the same, but it's pretty close. The only thing different is you're giving the buff to a card with rush, so you know it's a rush, and you're drawing a card. So maybe they basically said, we like Don Hancho, no one played him, but he was cool, so we're just gonna slightly tweak Don Hancho, and maybe it makes it better. But what if you draw Zill? This is 8. You're playing this on 8 mana, guys. And then you're also playing cards that draw you rush cards from your deck. So you better believe, like, how many warrior rush cards are there? Not a lot. You know what I'm saying? You got like the Worgans, right? You got like the fucking 5 mana, you know, guy, the whatever is the 5 mana 4/4. Whenever he eats someone, he gets 2/2. You know what I mean? Like, how many rush warrior cards? I don't know, man. Like, obviously it's not a bad card. I don't think it's like, I don't think warrior decks are gonna be like fucking next level tier gods because they have the fucking 8 mana 5/5 Rhino. 3 mana 2/4 after you play a minion, deal 1 damage to this card. Sucks. Battle cry, copy all dragons in your hand. I mean, obviously a value card. Obviously a value card. So if you mean it all depends on, you know, if you're playing control warrior, you got 3 big dragons in your hand, you got 6 big dragons in your hand. I would like this card to have been a dragon, considering he's riding a fucking dragon. And he should be called Smoldering Dragon Lancer. This card's really good. We went over it. This card would actually be better. This card would actually be better at 5 or 7 mana. I think this is one of the only cards in the game that you could say if you make this more mana, it's actually better, because you could play it in Odd Warrior. An Odd Warrior can gain armor very easily. But 6 means you can't play it in Odd Warrior, and non-Odd Warrior decks can't generate as much armor as Odd Warrior decks. So I think this is one of the only cards in the game that I would actively say, yo, make it more mana and it's better. So this card's bad. What up, Colleen? And we went over this card. All right, we're in the neutrals now. All right, we're almost done. Has 2 spell damage while damaged. I mean, 2 spell damage is a lot, but you know, it only has 3 life. 2 mana 2/1 battle cry, silence an enemy minion with taunt. Ooh, jeez, aggro just found a new way to break through the fucking door. No more holding the door. Yo, this is gonna be found. Oh, but thank God it's not odd. Man, if this was like a 1 mana 1/1 battle cry, silence an enemy minion with taunt, holy shit, it would be played in every odd paladin and every odd rogue from here to fucking Antarctica. But because it costs 2 mana, ooh, yeah, all right, not as all right, not as good as I thought. Again, most of the aggro decks, like, it might be played in Zoo, to be honest. This could be like a 1-of in a Zoo deck, but they honestly could just play Spellbreaker. 2 mana 0/2 totem at the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Yep, not that great. I'm not expecting a lot of these cards to be that good. 2 mana 0/2 death rattle, summon 3 1/1 scarabs. Whatever. 4 mana 3/2 death rattle, summon a 3/2 rumble tusk breaker. So it's a 4 mana 6/4. I like how they're like wrestlers. They're like jumping in. Regenerate 4 mana 3/5 at the start of your turn, restore 2 health to this minion. Oh, you think you're cool. Think you're real cool, don't you? It's the first time we've seen like some sort of regeneration effect in a while. Just saying. Yo, Strikes with a sub coming in for 10 months in a row. Yo, thank you, Strikes with the resub. Thank you so much, man. Welcome back. Ice Cream Peddler, 4 mana, 3/5, Battle Cry. If your controller frozen minion gain any armor. Oh, Freeze Shaman! Freeze Shaman is here! This is the card Freeze Shaman was waiting for. Now I can crystallize my own minion and then get 8 armor. Oh, yes. So good. 1 mana, 1/1, helpless hatchling. Death Rattle. Reduce the cost of a beast in your hand by 1. Holy shit, this is bad. This is so bad. Oh, thank you, Blizzard, for printing so pointless ass cards. 1 mana, 0/2 at the start of your turn. Destroy this and gain 8 armor. What? Why? Why is this a card? What is the point of this? I'm so happy it's a fucking epic. It's gonna be me. Some poor souls, they're gonna open up packs and be, oh, an epic! It's gonna be this piece of dog shit. 5 mana, 1/1, summon a hot shot. So it's a 5 mana, 6/6. Good in arena. Actually deal 2 damage on turn 1. A minion can do that. So good. Play the 6 mana 8/8 attack and get 8 more armor, 10 more mana over 2 turns. 3 mana 3/4. Give each player a copy of a random card from their opponent's deck. Wow. Thanks, Blizzard. 2 mana 0/4 has +4 attack while damaged. So just never attack it. Hogs, dude. This it's so funny. What is it called? Yo, what up, TC? Thank you for the sub, man. Welcome, welcome. Yo, non-form with the raid. Yo, what up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well and you had a good stream. Good stream, Non. We're just doing our card review. We're almost done, actually. We're on the neutrals. Just going through the motions of kind of looking over the cards and giving my impressions on whether or not they'll actually see play and all that good stuff. Obviously, the sleeper of the set. Oh shit, I lost my place. Aha, right here. 2 mana 3/3 Battle Cry. Give your opponent a coin. Why? So you're gonna accelerate your opponent mana so you can play a minion with basically that's statted, like, there's 2 mana 3/2s. So I guess you could give them a coin for like overdraw purposes. You can't hear me? My mic seems a little low. I mean, I can turn up my mic a little bit, but you can thank Strikes for the suggestion. Yo, I appreciate it. I turned it up a little bit for you, TC. No, I appreciate the raid, guys. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate the kind words, Strikes. Yeah, I don't see this card being good. I mean, other than, like, sometimes, depending on your deck, you know, you could fill your opponent's hands up with cards, and then, like, for example, Togwaggle Druid, you give, like, sometimes you could play, like, Mukla, give them, like, bananas, you could do this to give them coins, and then you play Togwaggle, and then their hand is filled with trash, and you don't actually have to make them overdraw, but, you know, most of the time, this card is horrible. 3 mana 2/2, Battle Cry, add 2 bananas to your hand. So he's basically a 3 mana 4/4. But he costs 5, so he's actually a 5 mana 4/4 because you have to still pay 2 mana for the 2 bananas that give +1/+1. So bad. This card. Oh my gosh, I saw this card on Twitter yesterday and just like, holy shit, who's that desperate for card draw that you would play this? 4 mana, do nothing, has to die, then you get 2 cards. Ugh. Patron's back. 5 mana 3/3 overkill. Summon another patron. I mean, granted, they probably couldn't make this card too good because Patron already had its era. It's cool that they brought it back and they made the artwork super sick on this guy, right? I mean, look at that artwork. That looks really nice. Like, this guy's beard is fucking kicking. And he has nice ass armor too. They did a better job at making this guy have cool armor than fucking the World of Warcraft devs do at the armor. The armor, I mean, you know, when I played WoW with this past expansion, the armor sets are like, some of them are cool, but fuck, this patron's decked out right now. Obviously it won't see play, but because like you're playing a 5-mana 3/3, it has to live, then it has to trade, and then you hope to god that it doesn't die, so you have to like buff it, and then the other one isn't buffed because it doesn't make a copy, it just makes it, you know, another patron. It's obviously a very bad card, but you know, it's cool that they're like, you know, reprinted him kind of. 4 mana 2/3 battle cry, give all minions in your hand +1/+1. All right, we've been over this before, right? Didn't Paladin have a card that did exactly the same thing as this? And it was 2 mana, but it was a 1/1. It was a 2 mana 1/1. So now we're paying 2 more mana to make it a 2/3. So we're paying basically 2 more mana for basically it to be a 1/2 more, but it's a neutral instead of a Paladin specific. Like, so the only time I see this card being okay is if you're playing like the new Hunter legendary that we went over that adds a bunch of 1/1s to your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, your hand has to be just filled with like really low cost minions. But I mean, it's so like win more, like you have to have these cards first, and then you have to make the tokens, and then you have to put them in your hand, and then you have to draw this card, and then you have to play this card, and by the time you play your minions, hopefully you still have the board, and even if they have AoE, 1/+1 wasn't worth all of the hassle you just went through to fucking put this card in your deck. So definitely a poo-poo snoo. 5 mana 3/6 battle cry, deal 1 damage to all other minions. This card's actually not bad. This is not a bad card if Paladin is running away with things, because right now, like, dealing 1 damage to all, like, we remember how good Ravaging Ghoul was, and that was a 3 mana 3/3 deal 1 damage to everything. This is 2 more mana, you get 3 more health, and it has the same effect. So for 2 mana 3 more health, I mean, it's not great, but it's a dragon. So this card, like, a lot of the comments that we've covered previously, pretty fucking bad. This is actually one that is not trash. It's not going to be a card that's going to make or break any sort of dragon deck, but it's definitely, it's clearly better than some of the other ones that we've covered. Right? Like, I like this card. 8 mana 2/14 taunt divine shield. Holy shit, this guy is huge. All the beautiful artwork in the card will never see play. I know, right? I've never played Hearthstone, but I guess I'm learning now. Oh, is Non, you're not a Hearthstone streamer? I used to hammer, but haven't touched Hearthstone for some time now. What were you playing? Non, were you playing Artifact? Somebody mentioned Artifact. I don't know if they said that you were playing Artifact. What game did you play, buddy? Or what were you playing? Or what are your games that you do play? He was playing COD. Oh, okay. The multiplayer, or was he playing like Blackout? Because I know, you know, obviously you can do like the Battle Royale portion, or you can do the multiplayer portion. Both of which are surprisingly good. I mean, I haven't been a COD fan in a while, but I enjoyed Blackout thoroughly. I don't play it that often, but it's definitely fun. I mean, the only deck I see this fitting in is Divine Favor Priest, you know, Divine Inner Favor Priest. It's just kind of like one of those big minions that you hope you don't randomly generate. 4 mana 3/3 stealth, overkill, gain 3 armor. I mean, she looks cool. I like the weapon. Look at that golden weapon. I mean, that's some good shit right there. She's wearing the same shoulder pads as Patron. All right, look at these shoulder pads. Did they just refresh these shoulder pads? Look at the shoulder pads. Look at the shoulder pads. All right, we're gonna go back a couple cards. They're kind of the same. They're kind of the same. And by kind of, I mean they're exactly the same. They're just slightly smaller. That makes me sad. Holy fuck, this card looks weird. 2 mana, 2/1, lifesteal, battle cry, get 1 damage. Why does it have lifesteal? That's a very weird card to have lifesteal. You don't mind this card? It's not bad. It's not a bad card, but the lifesteal is what makes it like, why? Imagine if this had poisonous. This would see play in every single deck ever. Who will be the first one to type in the emote into chat? Who will be the first one to type those magical words into chat? You know what I'm, for those of you who've been around a while, you know. I'm just waiting for it right now. 3 mana, 3/5 battle cry, deal 5 damage to your hero. What words? I'm late. I don't want to give out the words. Someone who's been here for a while will know the words. It's only applicable to about the next 1 minute and 30 seconds. So obviously in some fast-paced aggressive deck that this fits in here. But besides that, dealing 5 damage to your hero is exceedingly bad. But like if you're playing a, you know, a very fast-paced hunter deck, you know, dealing 5 damage to you and playing a 3 mana 3/5 is huge. So, and then if you Houndmaster it, turns into a, you know, a 5/7 for 3. I mean, that curve is just so sick. So, not terrible. 6 mana 5/5 battle cry, set each player to 5 mana crystals. I don't know what emote we use for this trash song. Oh, can't believe I have to do this for you guys. Chaotic should know. I can't believe I'm the one that had to type in the command for that. I'm disappointed in you, Twitch chat. This is like Druid Stopper, baby. I'm just kidding. I don't really see why you would play this card. 6 mana 5/5. It's not statted great. And it only works if you like, it only works if your opposing player is a druid and that druid happens to ramp. You know what I'm saying? Like there's requirements to this card. And if those requirements aren't met, its stats are shit. So it screws combo decks. Gul'dan stall. I mean, I suppose it stops combo decks a little bit, but I wouldn't say it stops them a lot. It's gonna be one of those cards where it's a meta dependent card. So if we do see a lot of, like, you know, combo decks that require 10 mana, like Shudder Shaman, you know what I'm saying, then you can play this guy when you think they're gonna play Shudder, and it gives you, you know, an extra 2 or 3, 4, maybe 4 turns, you know, because if you play this guy and then you end your turn, your opponent's gonna be at 6 mana, right? So it's not even like when you end your turn, they're at 5. You end your turn and they're at 6. So very meta dependent. 5 mana, 3/8. Whenever an adjacent minion takes damage, this minion takes it instead. Yo, this guy has a turtle as a shield. This fucking turtle. Poor turtle. Look at this turtle. I mean, this turtle is serious though. This turtle has red eyes. So I mean, as sad as I am that this turtle is taking a beating, like, this turtle is ready for it. Like, this turtle is clear, like, he decided that this is the way he's going out, and he's going out without a fight. So, you do you, turtle man. 5 mana, 6/5. Enemies attacking this have a 50% chance to attack someone else. I absolutely despise and hate cards like this. I hate this so very much. Like, that's just pointless RNG. A lot of whispers about this card. The 8 mana 8/5 battle cry gained death rattle effects of 3 friendly minions that died this game. So There's a lot of very powerful death rattle effects, as we know. The new paladin one, we'll take a look at that just really quick, so to remind you of what it is. This one, it says shuffle this into your deck and it keeps any enchantments. So if this triggers, and this guy, his effect triggers onto the guy we had just covered, he will actually shuffle back into the deck and keep any buffs that are buffed on this guy. So there's a chance for paladins to go infinite between this guy and the other card if it does not get silenced. Granted, if death rattle cards are going to be super popular, guys, silence is going to take them out. Like, people are freaking out like, oh my god, there's no way to stop him, he's the Undertaker, he's coming at you live. All you got to do is silence him. Literally, Spellbreaker, Iron Beak Owl, the list goes on. You just silence a motherfucker, and an Undertaker turns into mush. Line Cracker. This guy, I like this artwork a lot. It's a 7 mana 5/10. This guy is huge. Overkill, double this minion's attack. So overkill kills a minion, goes to 10. Kill him another minion, goes to 20. Kills another minion, goes to 40. For 7 mana, 10 health, and 5 attack is giant. I actually just might play this in my big druid, just because how fucking huge he is. Like, this guy can just, oh my god, I mean, look at this. Like, his artwork is amazing. Like, I love this artwork. Five mana, 3/4, rush, overkill, summon 2/1/1 bats. No. 7 mana, 7/4, battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, deal 7 damage to an enemy minion. Oh my god! That's really good. I mean, granted, this card has very, very low HP, but he has 7 attack and he does 7 damage. So if this guy were to be like a 7 mana 7/7, do 7 damage, I mean, this card would be an auto include into like every dragon deck ever, right? So they have to somehow make this so it's not an auto include, but it's still good even at 4 HP. Unfortunately, though, it's 7 damage to an enemy minion, not an enemy. So you cannot hit face with this. I would have liked to see this card at a 5/5. I would have liked to see this card as like a 7 mana 5/5 dragon. But, I mean, 7/4, it's just 4 is so low. Yo, what up, Dark Teddy? How's it going, man? Why do I keep clicking off the card when I can just hit this next arrow? 4 mana 4/5, Battlecry, discover 2 cards, give 1 to your opponent at random. Absolutely not. We don't give our opponents anything but the swift and subtle deaths. 4 mana 3/2, Death Rattle Murloc, draw 2 Murlocs from your deck. No thank you. There's better Murlocs. This guy looks fucking crazy, by the way. His Murloc looks absolutely crazy. This guy is tweaking out of his mind. Whoa, 1 mana 2/3. All right. Death Rattle, summon a 0/3 free agent with taunt from for your opponent. Yeah, I was gonna say 1 mana 2/3. I mean, those stats are huge for 1 mana, chat. I mean, this is a very big card, but then like it's Death Rattle, your opponent gets a 0/3 taunt minion. But still, in aggro decks, you know, making them have a taunt minion may not be that bad, because this is gonna do most of the time. This is gonna do at least 4 damage. So, not the worst card I've seen. And the taunt, like, if this card, like the 0/3 free agent with taunt, if this had any attack, this card would be horrible. But because this guy can attack and do things and make trades, and then it gives them a minion that is just a taunt and doesn't have the ability to kill anything, it's not as bad. Mass Contender, 3 mana, 2/4 battle cry. If you control a secret, play a secret from your deck. I don't like this card at all. Not when they have Fungal Mancer. All right, well, yeah, if you're playing against another, you know, sort of aggro mid-range decks, but most of the time, if it has, all right, so if it's turn, you know, when that guy dies, which will probably be around turn 3 or 4, you know what I mean? You'll have other minions, and you should be able to clear off the taunt because it doesn't have any attack. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously downsides to the cards we went over. I don't like this card at all. It's a requirement. You have to have a secret, and you play a secret from your deck. But there's cards right now that literally generate you secrets, draw into secrets, create secrets, and you have Subject 9, which draws like every secret. So you don't need help from Mr. Contender. 2 mana, 1/4. Whenever you restore 3 or more health to your hero, draw a card. Wow, I am not gonna sip on whatever he's sipping on. This looks like ass. This is like green spooge. Obviously, he's been sipping on it. Look at him. He's so fucking excited to spooge up whatever he's brewing. Seven mana for 2 attack and 7 health. Taunt costs 1 less for each enemy minion. So if they have 7 minions out, this guy is 0 mana. A 0 mana 2/7 with taunt, baby. So this is a rebound card. The Rabble Bouncer. I'm not sure about it. Monty Warbear. Dude, I loved this mount, chat. I tried to get this mount when it was available. I didn't get it. I'm sorry, I failed you. But I did get the Zul'jin Tiger. Not a lot of people have the Zul'jin Tiger. It's a 0.01% drop rate for the Zul'jin Tiger. Your boys got it. But I did not get the Monty Warbear. 7 mana, 5/7, rush and taunt. It's not bad in Arena. Why do I keep clicking off? I'm failing you, chat. Rob didn't even review the suit vendor. He just mocked his wares and said next, basically. We already talked about the Witch Doctor. She's really good. We talked about this guy. We talked about this guy. We talked about this guy. We talked about the chicken. We talked about this guy. We talked about this guy. We talked about this guy, this guy. And that's it. Cool. And the cards that I said we already talked about, they're in our first 2 reviews that we did. So I'm not going to do a review on a reviewed card that I haven't actually played with. So we've covered all the cards. We've covered every single card. We've talked about it. I gave you my insights. We are now done. I appreciate it. So to end this YouTube video, because it was a lot, we streamed it live on Twitch, but it's going to turn into a YouTube video, and it'll be good stuff. All right. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next episode, of course. I'm Robert Warshack, and remember, happy whatever the hell day it is.